Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, and the IYT. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's get right into the charts, guys. We're going to go to the daily on the spider, 0.19% up. We're up 46 cents green on the day with 32 million. Light volume still prevails, guys. We get some little bit heavier volume days here and there, but ultimately with this 30 million to 60, 70 million days, guys, we're just going to keep floating up. As long as we stay above the moving averages, we're fine. But the key areas to watch will be if we come back down and get below this 246.76 area, then we might possibly see a little more selling coming in to fill in some of these gaps. Lower pivot. Ultimately, this trend line here is the big one. If we could get below this, then we could see some selling possibly to the 233 area or the 200 MA. If this thing continues up off this bullish pattern above the MAs, then you're looking at 250, 252, 55, and then 255, and then so on. So this is a nice bullish pattern setting up above the MAs. This could possibly push higher to the 255 area. Let's see what happens when it gets to 250, and then we'll go from there. So either way, guys, it could go up here off this bullish pattern. If it starts to slide, then we'll look for areas of support for this thing could possibly bounce. So again, this is the big trend line you're looking at here. The area about 241.29 or so, and it's matching up with this gap fill and these low pivots here. So you got good support with the MAs and this big trend line. But if it cracks, guys, we will be going down and kissing the 200 MA as well as everything else like the Facebooks, the Amazons, all that stuff. So watch for that. Again, light volume prevails, and we go to the IWM. So the IWM, guys, comes up to this high point, upper trend line, boom, gets rejected, comes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days down, catches the low pivots down in here, almost comes in, kisses it, enough for government work. But remember, this is the IWM or the Russell 2000. This has to be leading. It actually came back. Still slightly bullish because we're above the 200 MA. Right now we're down sideways, starting to set up kind of like this when we went down and sideways, still in a bullish pattern, but a slight micro bearish. This one broke once it got above here, started shooting up here, light volume prevailed. This was like the 11-day rally on the NASDAQ, so this kind of followed too, right into this upper trend line. Never can hold, never confirm, right back down, waiting for pattern. So bulls, you got to get above the MAs again, shoot for this all-time high, and then possibly 145 to 150, possibly higher if we could get above these areas and this high pivot right around the 144.25. This thing keeps going sideways, 20 MA starts to curl, this could definitely get sent down to at least this trend line here, guys, but really good support with the trend line and the 200 MA. If this does not hold, we will have lower prices to come. I still think we're going to fill this gap here right around 130.82, so watch for that. Right now, guys, nothing wrong, a little bit lagging. This should be leading, but again, we'll watch what the pattern brings in the next week. I want to see what Friday's close brings. If we stay below the MAs on Friday and it closes down in here somewhere, I think we're setting up for at least the 200 MA, and then we'll see how it reacts to that. But I still think we're coming down here. For the upside, it's got to get above the MAs, fill this gap, and then we'll shoot to double top, 145 to 150, so watch for that. Again, though, guys, light volume remains in these markets. Look at this. If we go back, wow, that's incredible. Just like this area here, then this one was light. This was almost 9.17 million. Unbelievable, guys. All right, so let's get into the Qs. Sorry about that. Qs, guys, still nothing wrong. This was great when it was coming here, but then we gapped up, started going up, attacked the all-time high, broke out right here, came right back in. But guys, this is down sideways. This is slightly bearish, still above the MAs, still in a good stance. Slightly bullish. I mean, it could go either way here, but I love this inside bar pattern. Bottom line, it's got to get above the all-time high, which is, say, 146. We'll go the even number. If it passes through that, then we're going to 150, 155. We have NVIDIA coming up, I think on the 10th, so 3 days from now. So that could possibly drive this one higher or lower. You got BABA and a couple other ones too, but NVIDIA, you saw that one when that thing was going down. It was dragging down the markets with it a couple months back when we were getting some good selling, so watch for that. But right now, inside bar, bearish pattern, but bullish stance above the MAs. Let's see what this one brings us when it goes into earnings. So or when Nvidia goes into earnings, we'll see if this thing can hold up and possibly go higher. Maybe that will be the one that drives this thing to the 150 area. Again, though, as long as it stays above the MAs here, you're fine. If it starts to slip, then we'll be watching for pretty much this line down in here. And then, like I've been saying, the 200 MA with the gap fill down here. You also have a gap fill down right around there, and that equals out to the 200 MA right around 130.15. So watch for that. Again, higher prices 150, 155. Lower prices, you got this pivot around 135 and then 130. The markets continue to sell, then we'll possibly be going lower. So it is the Qs, guys. The the strongest out of the deck here. So let's keep an eye on this one, see what it brings in the next week or so. Keep an eye on volume too, guys. If it remains light, these things will just chop around. We'll get slight pullbacks, but it'll go right back up. Again, this is a pretty good pattern. Bullish. Let's see if this pops, but it's micro bearish up here, so it could go either way. So right now, everything's a little bit long in the tooth, just grinding away the last 4 or 5 months. So we'll see what this brings in the next month or two. I think in September, October, guys, we could get a little bit rocky in these markets, but we got to see the volume pick up, which that will help a little more volatility. And the Dow, what can I say, guys? This thing was coming off a bullish pattern here, popped up, little bullish pattern, and now it's just floating up with the non-volume, guys. It's pretty amazing. You have to say that it just gets above the MAs and just floats, just keeps going. Right when it gets below, pops back up, tries to go below, pops up. This thing's just been grinding higher for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days, guys, with Boeing, leading the way, and a couple of the high flyers, and the J&Js and all-time highs. It's pretty incredible, guys. But keep an eye on this, getting a little bit stretched from the 20 MA. This needs to come back down a little bit. I'm going to look at the weekly really quick here. Let me move this back in place here. Let me look at the weekly here. I just want to see, a little bit extended, but man, look how fine this is. Comes in, hits this target, gaps up, goes sideways, boom, it's just grinding higher. Still looking at the 225. 229, 230, 235 area on this, and hey, we're almost there. We're at 220. We've been talking about that area. Well, that was the first stop. We made it there. Next area, 225, 230, 235. Let's see if we could grind higher just like the SPY, but again, above the MAs, good trend. What can I say? Let's see if this thing continues up. And just remember, if you're grinding this thing higher and you're long with calls or just long with shares, just protect it, guys. You don't want to wake up to a nightmare because, Trump took a dump or something like that and nobody liked it. So again, keep him on watch as well because this thing's just grinding on nothing. And at any point, guys, this thing could just fall apart and it starts tanking. So keep an eye on this. A little bit stretched. Nothing wrong, though. Let's see if we get another sideways pattern, or maybe a little bit of pullback before the next leg up. So keep an eye on earnings, too. So far, I guess, so good. So we'll just keep playing with that. The DIA still in a good stance. Let's see what it gives us on the weekly close. Let's go to the IYT. The IYT, like the Russell guys, just pulling back, went to the all-time highs, got a nice pullback off this high pivot. It tried to confirm, guys. Did it confirm? Yeah, I guess you could say it confirmed, but it tried and tried and tried. I know there was another. Let me see something here. I want to see if this thing. Yeah, so you had this trend line. I mean, you could connect these now, I guess. Let's do this. So if we connect those highs, that's your pivot up there. Right now, though, a little bit weak, but it did come to the 200 MA, came to this lower trend line, kissed it, and boom, right back up, by the dip mentality, guys. Remember, this is another one like the IWM where it has to lead. So right now, a little bit weak inside this bar. This was a great slack in this day. 618, 200 MA, 165 even number, trend line, guys. This was a great bounce area. Let's see if we retrace back into this area. If it does, that's a great shorting opportunity to short this one again. If it continues up, though, be ready to add more at 173.49, then hit the all-time high at 175.75. This continues after that and breaks above this area, then we're going to 180, 185 possibly. One step at a time. I do like this area, but I do like the gap fill. But we can have a short retrace right back into these MAs and boom, right back down. So again, this one should be leading, just like the IWM, and they're starting to lag. So I watch for that. A lot of people say that the area is not not working these days, but it's something I followed for a long time. And when the transports are lagging and the IWM lagging, look out. It's just a matter of time before these markets pull back. So let's see if we get some more higher prices. Let's see where this thing closes on Friday, and then we'll take it from there. So again, though, volume was okay. After hours is down a little bit, but I think that's just a bit going through. And we'll see what happens, guys. Just stay buoyant in these markets. If the volume starts to pick up on the SPY, you might get a little more selling. But if it remains light, 30 to the 40, 50 million range, then we'll probably still keep floating. And honestly, this one could keep floating. As long as we hold this trend line down in here, I think we'll be all right. If this trend line starts to crack, we're most likely going to 157 and possibly lower. So watch for that. All right, guys, well, it's good to be back. Had a little vacation time. Going to start making videos again. A little bit allergies are bothering me, but we'll get through it. And look for more of my videos tonight and tomorrow. And I'm going to continue making them for the rest of the year, hopefully, unless I go on another vacation. But again, I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.